Hi everyone, it's Angie with Living Inspired Within. We are back in my car this week. I know we flip-flop. I was out running errands and just finished up, so wanted to tune in, and today we are talking about data. Super exciting, right? So if you're like me, this is not something you geek out about. Maybe you do. I don't know. I have great friends that geek out about Excel and data, and that's their jam. It's not really my jam. But maybe you do, and I think that's awesome. But today we're going to talk about data. I just realized, I'm like, oh, is this transmitting over the car? Hopefully you can hear me. If not, comment below and let me know, and I will stop. Or if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or something. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about data. And recently I looked at my data and I realized that the data I had wasn't great. So there are so many data sources out there. How the heck do you know, number one, where to pull data from? Number two, when you're pulling data, how do you know where to skip trace it? So I see some of you ladies are tuning in. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, because I realized my Bluetooth is on, so we'll see how this works. Anyway, so the basically you have a lot of data sources, and so you can pull from different data sources. There are so many out there. I've had virtual assistants pull from Fiverr. I've pulled from ListSource. Thank you for the thumbs up. That means you can hear me. That's really great news. Thank you. I've recently pulled from Atom Data. I've pulled from PropStream. Oh my gosh, there's so many. The list can go on and on and on. So where do you get? My title company has pulled data for me. And so I just wanted to dive in. All I can do is give you my experience and give you my feedback. So it may be different for you. It may be different in your market, or maybe you had a different experience. And if you have, that's great. Comment below and share with the women in this group so we all know. I will tell you, as far as data sources, the best data that I've pulled, and I'm trying some new data, I've pulled data from ListSource, and that is great data. That's proven to be great. How do I know it's great? We actually get response from our marketing. So data is one piece of it. We just recently pulled from Atom Data, and I'm trying that data. And the reason that we're pulling from Atom Data is because we weren't having a huge success, and we'll get to the skip tracing piece of it, but we weren't having huge success with our data. And a buddy of mine was, and I know because he's closing deals and I'm lending on some of those deals. And I said, hey, where's your data coming from? Where are you getting it? Oh, by the way, I forgot he owns a skip tracing company, and also as part of that, he has wholesale packages through Atom Data. So he actually can get it cheaper than you or I can get it if we just go to the data source. So I recently pulled data from Atom Data, and I will test it out and try it, and I will report back. We can do another live on it. But I know it's good data because he's having results. So the proof is always in the pudding. So the first piece is the data. And then the second piece is skip tracing. So skip tracing, oh my gosh, same thing, right? You can skip trace through virtual assistants, through Fiverr, through, I think there's something called REI Skip. You can skip trace through, I think it's Yellow Pages or Yellow something, People Finder, stuff like that. I've skip traced through Lead Sherpa. That has proven to be pretty decent. I have skip traced through Launch Control, and although I like their texting platform, and their texting platform did pretty well for us, oh, by the way, their skip tracing data, didn't love it. So it wasn't really great data. How do I know? We didn't get the results we wanted. And it's not just that we didn't get great results from skip tracing. When I pulled that data that was skip traced through Launch Control and I sent it over to our callers, we weren't getting results. So all of this came from a conversation, and kind of digging into this came from a conversation with the company that manages the callers that we have. Because I don't manage them. I don't love managing people. So I don't manage them. So I outsource that. And so we were having conversations because we weren't getting the results that, frankly, I was promised to get and that they were going to deliver. So we started digging in. We're saying, hey, is it the caller? Is it the data? So we made some changes. And then, so through that also came, so we pulled data from Launch Control. We pulled some data from Lead Sherpa. And then I also recently pulled data through ClearSkip. And so again, that data will be tested, but I know it's good data. I know it's good data because a buddy of mine is having results. He's closing deals, and I know they're realistic. It's not a pie in the sky, hey, I'm closing deals. Like, they're actually closed deals that I'm participating in on occasion, so I know they're happening. So you really have to dive in, and if operations is not your strong suit, that's okay. But maybe dig in with your cold calling manager. Dig in with someone that owns the data. So recently, like I mentioned, I used ClearSkip, which provides the data and will skip trace it. And I'm going to put the link below. So I'm going to put the link below for ClearSkip. And I'm going to do this because I am really impressed. So they pulled the data for me, and they were able to pull whatever list I wanted. And oh, by the way, their data is cheaper again than if I go directly to the source, because they have special pricing that they can give us. So that special pricing that they can give us is extended to this part of us, to you. So that special pricing is being extended to you. And then they can also skip trace the data. And what's great is then you have I got an email with a Dropbox link, and then your data is sorted into 4 files. So one is general formatting. Then they have, if you're mailing, they have a mailing list, so it's formatted for mailing, so it's super easy. And then they have one for phone calls, so if you have a caller, it's formatted for that. And then they have one for email list, so if you're emailing, the data is formatted for that. And then they have a general one. And it's broken up. I chose to do both individuals and LLCs. Because we're targeting multifamily, so often people will close in an LLC, and so the files come separately, so individuals and then LLCs. So I will report back on the quality of the data, but I'm thinking it should be really good quality, as will the skip tracing, because I've already seen the proof. So you have to manage your data. You have to look at the quality. That's something you always have to tweak. Am I getting leads from this data? Am I getting leads from the skip tracing, or am I not? So, and then start tweaking stuff and seeing, play with it. Maybe you don't pull a huge list. So we just pulled a list of 7,000 multifamily owners. Maybe you don't pull a list of 7,000. I know when I was speaking with my buddy, he's like, hey, you have to pull a decent sized list. I'm like, okay, what is that? He's like, our minimum order is $30. $30? We can do $30, right? And hopefully you can do $30 because you have to buy the data. You have to put your money out there to get the data. So with anything, right? Can you be successful with zero money in? Maybe. But you're going to see success faster if you have a marketing budget, which includes data sources and skip tracing. Because you have to be able to reach your sellers or your buyers or your homeowners, whatever it is, whoever you're trying to reach, you've got to be able to pull that list and you've got to be able to market to them. So data is super important. It's not super sexy. I get it. It's not super fun, but the more I dig into it, the more I think it is fun, because you can split test it and you can say, okay, does this work? Does this work, right? Is it, you take the data and then you say, okay, do postcards work? Does calling work? Does texting work? Does email work? Right? And then you swap things out and you split test. And marketing, I love. It's the operational part I don't love. But marketing, I love, and I love to see what works and what people respond to. So hopefully this video serves you well. Again, I will put the link for ClearSkip. I am really impressed with them thus far. They're able to pull your data and skip trace, one-stop shop. And oh, by the way, now I have a customer service representative that made sure I got my lists and walked me through everything. I don't know. It feels fancy. So I will share that with you. If you have any questions or you want to share any data sources that you have that you've been really successful with, or vice versa. If you have data sources that have been the pits or have totally sucked, drop it below, share with this community, because there's no reason we all need to recreate the wheel. If you're seeing success somewhere, share it. If something's a flop, by all means share it, so that none of us are throwing money at something that's going to be a flop. So cheers to your success and happiness. Again, this is Angie with Living Inspired Within. I wish you all well, and I will see you next Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Take care. Have an awesome day.